Hello everyone, it is Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything back with another podcast. This time I am joined by, you know her, you love her, Rarity Fangirl 31, and a new person joining us today for the first time, Synchro Banana, or we'll just refer to her as Midnight. Two girls, so that's pretty cool. For the first time, I'll have two females on a podcast. This is not going to be the spoilers, obviously, by the title. I'll be recording that one later in the weekend with a few other people, so I'm excited for that, but I'm extremely excited for this. We're going to go in depth about the opening 6 and ending 6. I know I already went in depth, but we're going to get more perspectives and just talk about it because it is the final opening and the final ending, more than likely, 99% likely, of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc-V, so I think that it deserves as much, kind of discussion as it possibly can, because at the end of the day, this is pretty much it in terms of Arc-V, so...
I'm not in a manga video? Well, what is this? Yes, I do like the anime too. I don't just do the manga. I know you're all thinking, oh, you're just the manga expert. No, I do both. But yeah, I'm back to discuss this wonderful opening and ending, and I can't wait to do so because I have a lot to say about both of these.
Well, I'm excited to have both of you girls on. So here are the 3 topics that we are going to be discussing. We've now had a week to digest the 6th opening and the 6th ending. So we're going to focus on them, our thoughts on them, musically and visually, our thoughts on the songs themselves and on the actual animation that went into the opening and ending. Then we're going to discuss any theories or any free thoughts we have, and this is where obviously I'm excited for you guys in the comments to give any theories, even though I know you've given a lot of great ones when I did my in-depth analysis. And then we're going to wrap this up. We are going to rank every opening and every ending of Arc-V, all 3 of us. So that will be very exciting. That's almost a tease for me because I personally am going to be doing, hopefully by mid-November, late November, a video where I take every single Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening and ending and I rank every single one from all 5 animes. So that's going to be a hellacious list to make. It was hard enough ranking the Arc-V openings and endings, but doing it for every Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening and ending is going to be tough, but it should be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to hear what you guys rank, all theories you have, and what you think about opening 6 and ending 6 specifically. So excited for that. There will be timestamps in the description in case you want to, switch around, but hopefully you guys just put this on play and kick back and kill about an hour. So that's always the goal when I make these. But anyway, we are going to, and obviously comment your thoughts as well. We are going to start with, again, we've had a week now to take in the 6th opening and the 6th ending, and we're going to give our thoughts musically and visually. I'll go first with this. So musically for opening 6, at first I was kind of on the fence about it, and I kind of brought this up when I did my in-depth analysis after listening to it for, binge listening to it the entire week. I have to say, I really love the chorus. It might be it might be my favorite chorus out of all, and it's the part where, you see Yugioh rollerblading and all the really egg-ow hits. I love the chorus. The chorus, to me, is extremely catchy. It's extremely uplifting. The beginning part is the first, minute or so is very punk. It's very edgy. It's a little too edgy for me in terms of music, but... So that's the issue I have with this song musically. It takes about a minute before I really, really get into it. So that's something that maybe the beginning will grow on me, because you gotta keep in mind we'll be listening to this for the next 6 months every time we're watching Arc-V. So it's something that might grow on me. The chorus, thumbs up. The, beginning, not so much. But that's my opinion on it. Now, the visuals themselves... I wouldn't say I was very critical, but I was critical on the opening and ending. Actually, this kind of goes together. I'm going to talk about the ending song. I like the ending song. The ending song, it's uplifting. I don't know if they fit the theme of the show. Of course, they're going to fit the theme of the show when it gets to the end of the show, and it's going to fit really well. But to me, I guess it's unfair to really compare it to the past endings, and nothing was going to live up to Challenge the Game and Zexal. That ending was perfect. It was the perfect balance of what was going on in the show and somewhat uplifting at the same time. It's a good song. It's a good song. It's a catchy song. It's not one of my favorite endings, but I don't dislike it. And I will say that with another solid opening and ending in terms of music, I think Arc-V might arguably be the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Show in terms of consistent music from their openings and endings. So that's definitely interesting. Of course, that's only my opinion. I'm sure people will, agree to disagree with that. In terms of the visuals, The ending, I like the art style. I think the art style is really cool, but to be honest, I don't know. I would have liked to see some scenes. Now, and by scenes, I mean maybe some clips but then again, I guess the opening did show clips. I mean, by clips, I don't mean clips from, like, the anime in episode 140. I mean clips like, something like Yugioh rollerblading, like live action, where these are all stills, and it's not that I dislike that, but I think they maybe could have done a little more, even if it was in that art style, to have them moving or something like that. But that's just my opinion. Overall, I think it's a good ending. The opening, and this is what I was getting to before I started talking about the ending musically, I was harsh on the visuals for being too happy, and again, I'm not going to change that point, but at the same time, I understand that this is trying to be more uplifting than the actual anime, and it doesn't want, they don't want this anime to be extremely depressing and dark for the next 20, 25 episodes, as much as I wouldn't mind that. I think the majority of fans, they want to be reminded that there is a brighter future up ahead. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. And I think that's what the opening and ending kind of bring. So I like them. I'm not in love with them. But again, it hasn't even been a full week since they're out, so they might grow on me. But those are my impressions after listening to it for, God knows how many times. But Rarity, what are your thoughts on the opening 6 and ending 6?
My opinion is I love both of them. Now, I especially love the ending. As someone who is a giant fan of the counterparts, I love their interactions, and I'm really, in the show, they haven't really gotten to do much. So the fact that the ending brings them together and, this kind of, friendship thing, and it's all really cute and happy, and I love the art style. Plus, the Shun bit just kills me every time I see it. That's a running gag in this show, I swear, of just Shun just stalking Yuto and Ruri. I think that's adorable. I love that. The ending I like a lot more than I like the opening. I like the ending's, message kind of thing. It's kind of oh, everyone can smile, just enjoy the simple things, enjoying having time with your friends. It's kind of what Yu-Gi-Oh's always been about, friendship and bonds, So I think that kind of, speaks a message, especially in Arc-V's case, smiling. I mean, you even see Yuri having a good time, which is, and not killing people, which is pretty surprising, which, his fangirl shot, I did love that. That is adorable. And I also just, like the fact that we see just the counterparts interacting, because this is actually what I wanted for ending 5. This is, the perfect ending that I've wanted for so long, and I got it, and it's beautiful. The only thing that I wanted that wasn't in here was a hug, but I can deal with that. I can be fine with no hugging. I'm fine with that. They still got cute. I still got all the beautifulness. I love, the pastel art style. It's so pretty. I mean, I've made collages. I do a collage blog. I made one right after the ending aired because I really just love it. It's so pretty. I love the colors. Plus, I love the fact that Yugioh photobombs at the end. Still best character. He photobombs at the end. Of course, he's the best character. So that's about the ending. I like the song a lot. The opening, unlike Dylan, I love the punk rock at the beginning. I love the whole song in general, but I love the punk rock at the beginning. I don't know. It just fit with, that visual kind of boy band-looking thing at the beginning that you boys were doing. It set up the tone really well. And I just like, also the meaning of the song as well. I like just all of it together. And I do love the chorus. I think you were right about Dylan. That is a very, very good chorus. I really do love it. And I also like just visuals. I just like the feel. Now, a lot of people were mad, that we're just seeing the names of the characters flying all through the thing. But you know what? What an opening is supposed to do in any show, and this animes happen to be the ones that change their openings, throughout, the show, right? They're supposed to, tell you the theme of the show, and supposed to tell you what the show's about in, a minute and a half or so. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it makes sense that we're showing the characters that are important to this plot, which, this is gonna kind of go into the theory bit, but I'll mention it here, but I'll mention it probably later, is that I think all the characters whose names slid up are going to not be carded. That's just me, though. Or those, the main characters, I don't think they will be carded, especially because of the spoilers for 127 through 130. The way things are escalating, I can't see those characters doing anything. They haven't really heard about them. Well, not the counterparts, I'm Shun and Shingo and the other Lancers. I can't really see them doing anything, so I can't see them being carded at this point. I honestly can't see it, because they're not the focus here. Another thing I liked about the, opening was, I liked the Yugioh bit with the doves. That's kind of because he was in the, the pre-bit to the original opening as well. And he was in the original opening, too. I think that's a cool callback. And I like the shot of all the characters in this sea of people. Which, the fact that we have Kaito, Edo, and Jack in there, and Asuka and Crow are in there, we can basically safely assume that they're going to be carded. But we all knew that anyway. Just kind of be cool confirmation. I love there were some characters missing in that scene, which were all the villains. Most of them, like Sergei, Roger wasn't there, Himiko wasn't there. But there were characters like Kachidoki who got agowed. The Battle Piece wasn't in there either, but I guess he was recent, so I think that makes understandable. But we have the Tyler twins are in there, which I thought was really cool, and Sam was in there, all the Crows kid, like everyone from Synchro, Melissa. I thought that was a really just cool group shot. I loved that a lot. And I just really, really like the interesting thing with, you know the part everyone's like theorizing about, the part with Yuri with he's doing his fusion summon, then we see the darkness, we see the silhouettes, we see Leo with those spell cards. We'll get to that in the theory section, but I think that was kind of a good little tease. Just to like, I'm happy the opening ending's not spoiling a lot. Because I don't want it to spoil me. That's what the spoilers are for. I want the opening end to be something enjoyable. You know what I mean. The spoiler summaries, they spoil us. I want the opening ending to like give me a good feel, to get me pumped for the episode, and I think these do it really well. That's something else I'm talking about when I talk about the rest of the openings and endings. I like the fact that the openings and endings have kept this cohesion in terms of song choice. Like, the first two opening endings were done by the same band, and it was kind of like this pop, upbeat kind of thing. And then the synchro ones were a lot more like, not a ballad, but like that softer, like the da-da-da-da kind of thing. Like a more slower pace. Not really like pop. And then the last two have been more like light and dark, mixed some punk rock, which I personally like that type of music. So like, I've loved the last two openings and endings. The openings. The endings have not been consistent at all. The endings just don't have consistency. So, yeah, that's basically what I think, and I'm really pleased with these both. At first, I was a little unimpressed at the song, but I guess because I was listening to them on the stream, so it wasn't the best quality. They kind of grow on you after a while, and I'm just overall really happy with them, and I just can't wait to see what's going to happen. And to anyone who says that they're too happy, it's called contrast.
Did they get your heart burning?
Exactly. It's supposed to be like, oh, this is so happy, just the process of what happened, this happy ending to cheer you up after all your favorite characters have died. That's what it's for. It's supposed to, like, be a good contrast to what's happening in the show. I think that kind of works. Plus, it keeps the theme. But I've rambled about this long enough.
It's fair. Yeah, it's definitely fair. And I think the thing with the opening and ending, I think it's going to grow on a lot of people that maybe, kind of like me, kind of like you, didn't really love it at first. But Midnight, what are your thoughts on opening 6 and ending 6?
At first, I wasn't really too keen on the 6th opening, because it took me a while to get into it. But when I watched it a while later, I really started to enjoy it for what it was, because you see all the characters in their elements, like you see Yuto with his dual disc, you see Yugioh on his dual runner, but then there's like the whole thing, he's off it. And they did get his hair wrong there by accident at the back.
They got it wrong in the ending too.
Yeah. But
they're mean to our baby.
I really enjoyed the Yuri bit, because you see him doing like the whole ladies and gentlemen pose that Yui usually does. And it made me laugh quite a bit, because it shows a lot more about Yuri and his crazy side, as well as the whole possession thing. And like, I liked seeing the Rain's Arc silhouettes, and I really enjoyed it. The opening and the ending was really cute as well. I preferred the ending a bit more at first, but now leaning a bit more towards the opening.
So you like, Midnight, you like the songs in both as well, along with the visuals?
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. Yes, I mean, they're good, and I like the whole Yuri bit too. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just everything that is shown with Yuri, whether it's a spoiler summary or the opening, he's just insane. I mean, that's all that can really be said about him. But so those are our thoughts on opening 6 and ending 6. Again, it's only been out for 5 or 6 days, but please let us know your thoughts, your initial thoughts on them, and hopefully you'll keep commenting and then post some huge comment down below that we'll respond to. But anyway, we're going to move on to now theories and Rarity. I know you have a lot and you're dying to go. This is a section where I've kind of given a few of my thoughts when I did my in-depth analysis, so I can't wait to hear from you. Midnight, I can't wait to hear if you have any, and I can't wait to hear if anybody down below have any, and I'm sure you guys will as well. So what are some of your thoughts? You kind of mentioned about the Leo Akaba scene, and I think that's probably the most interesting scene in the opening 6, arguably, I guess. But what are your thoughts on that scene?
I personally thought I liked that it was very quick, because it kind of like, whoa, what is this? It, like, makes you want to watch the opening. I mean, you're going to watch it again over and again anyway, but you know what I mean. It makes you want to slow down. And now that we have the summaries for 127 through 130, we know that the thing in the background, that dragon, is Zark. He is the darkness. He is a dragon. So we don't know technically who the silhouette boy is, but I personally think the U-boys, or the the Dragon 4 are the reincarnate human versions of the dragons, because, you know, like, that pre-bit we see, you know, like, they're talking about the 4 dimensions, they, like, turn into the dragons. So I feel like that was kind of foreshadowing that. Like, when that first came up, I think it was, like, 113, I was like, that's what it is. They're turning into the dragons, so they were the spirits of the dragons as humans. But then why do the dragons weird? I guess because the dragons make them go into berserk mode. That's kind of why I think that way, because they're giving into their primal instincts. I don't know. So maybe that's what Zark is, that human that's like his human form, who I think we will not see till the end of the show. I mean,
Really?
I'm pretty I think we're not going to see him till later. I think we're going to see Dragon Zark, but we're not going to see the human guy for a while. At least, probably till, like, at least after 130. Personally. Like, because I see in the summaries, I personally think it's going to be after that. And also, Leo Akaba is holding 4 spell cards. Now, I'm the one who sent Dylan that ritual theory from my friend Dark Zorua, and I personally think that is really interesting. The first card we see, like, the only one we can actually see a picture of, to me, it looks like a bracelet or a musical note. And you think, because Yuzu is, like, the standard, she would be first on the card, so I'm guessing he might have, like, a wind, you know, like a wind witch one for Rin, or a bird thing for Ruri, or a moon for Serena, kind of thing. So I think that's really interesting. Also, Ray and Zark, when I first saw them, like, their silhouettes, or whoever the human guy is now, I'm just gonna call him Zark because it's a lot easier, they looked a lot taller to me. They looked taller, so I thought they might be older, but I personally don't know. But Akaba Leo has a connection to Ray, as we see in the summaries. Maybe he was, like, he knew her, maybe, I don't know, but it's just so interesting to me. But that's, like, about that bit. Another thing I wanted to point out, in terms of theories, like I said before, was the fact the Lancers, who represent the 4 remaining summoning methods, I think they're safe for being carded. Same thing with Reira, same thing with Reiji, because the way the plot is moving with the summaries, it's going way too fast, and those characters not be able to do anything. They're gonna duel at least at some point. I believe all of them will at least duel once. Well, I don't know about Sawatari, because his duel disc is broken. He can steal it off somebody else. He'll just go, oh, this is mine. He'll just
Yu-Gi-Oh logic.
Yeah, so just steal a dual disc, because, I mean, he'll steal it eventually. So I think that's going to be interesting. Also, just, we see the Bracelet Girls all happy and stuff. I mean, that's kind of normal. I really hope we're going to see a 4-on-4 of them against the U-Boys. I mean, that could kind of happen, especially with the summaries. I feel like the 4 boys are going to become one at this point, so I think any theories about Yuya versus Yuri, or Yugioh and Yuri versus Yuto and Yuya are kind of dead at this point, because they weren't hinted at the opening. Which, by the way, this is the only opening where a duel has not been shown. At all. I think the first ending didn't really show one either. The first opening?
You see him get
so that's really interesting.
over the head with a, like, you see him get hit over the head by Guggen Zark, but that's about it.
There's not really a duel going on in the first opening. In the first opening.
And then he's just looking
so
grumpy.
That's kind of interesting. So that's kind of interesting to me. There was no duel hinted at all, which I thought was really surprising. But, I mean, Yuko versus Yuri was in the 5th opening, and it's gonna be after that, which I thought was interesting, because I was waiting for that, everyone was waiting for that, which it looks like that duel's gonna be dragged on. Don't know how I feel about that, but that's not what this is about. This is about the opening and ending. So I think another thing in the opening that I thought was interesting was, like the Yugioh bit with the doves. This is the first Yu-Gi-Oh series that we've seen the main character duel their parents. And if he dueled his mother, I think Yuya is going to duel his dad at some point. I could see that being the finale duel. Yuya versus his father, with all that he's learned. You know, because the whole big thing is him being, like, Yusho's heir kind of thing. That's been a big part of his character. So it'd be interesting for that to resolve itself, especially because Yuya knows Yusho is there. He sees at the end of 125, he's in the bar, he's like, Daddy! You're there! You're not dead! Yay! So that's I had to put some humor in there. So that's kind of a thing. And that's all I have to say about the opening. The ending, I just think, like, it kind of confirms that Yuri is going to be redeemed. We all knew that anyway, but this is further confirmation. But, I don't know, like, the thing with him and Serena, the fact they were interacting in the ending, I think Yuri's backstory isn't done yet. I think there's a lot more to Yuri that we don't know, that they're hiding from us. Because Yuri narrates, but that doesn't exactly mean what he's saying is 100% true. You know, his memory could have been wiped for all we know. We don't know if it's true or not. We take it as word because it's what we have. We don't exactly have full confirmation. And that's interesting. I also like, you know, the shot where the U-Boys are walking kind of thing. Yuri's at a slightly different angle to show that he's just so much more different than the rest of them. Design-wise, and also just, you know, like, character-wise. And also Yugo has pockets, which that kind of confirms that Yugo is not wearing a onesie. I don't know. Onesie could have pockets. I'm saying it couldn't. And also, I just think the ending, you know, all of them in standard. I could see that being the ending, you know, like all of them, you know, like Dylan said in his theory video, you know, like that's the last shot of the show. We see like them all sitting at this fountain, you know, having a good time kind of thing. And there's a shot of Yuzu and Yugioh looking over standard. I could see that if the dimensions, you know, remain split, I could see like each of the duos like looking over their world and just talking about it for a little bit. It's like one of the last shots. That would be interesting. I think I'd like that a lot. But that's basically all I have for theories at the moment. It gives us a lot to think about, but at the same time, it makes you want to keep watching the show and see what's going to happen. I just can't wait to see Zark and Ray and their actual designs. Will the opening change to reveal them? I don't know. We also got to think about the opening and endings could change at some point, you know. You know, like, because they've done that in multiple versions, so we got to think about that. Like, they're probably not done yet. I'm probably sure the silhouettes will probably be revealed at some point. I'm gonna guess that, or just maybe we'll have a different visual. Maybe for the final ending, we'll have something completely different, but that's just me. But that's my thoughts anyway.
We'll see. Well, to add to that point, at midnight, I'll ask you if you have any theories or any thoughts you want to add. 5Ds, the final 2 episodes, the ending was different, and it was like a tribute to the main villain group, and spoilers for 5Ds, who, it was a main tribute. It was a tribute to the main villain group, and so they have done it before, where the last 1 or 2 episodes they've changed it and switched it up. And in Zexal, obviously challenged the game. Every time a character would get killed off, they would do a tribute for him, and that challenge the game probably ended up having like 5 or 6 versions. So they have done it for the past 2 shows. They didn't do it for GX. I don't think they did it for Duel Monsters, but just to add kind of factual evidence to that point that maybe that is what they're going to do. So that'll be really interesting to see. Midnight, do you have any theories that you want to, or any thoughts that you want to add to this?
I kind of want to add on to the point, like, the whole changing thing, because there was, like, in GX for, like, the third opening Teardrop, there was the first half where it was, like, really happy before they went to, like, the other dimension, and then there's, like, the whole afterwards where they take out Johan, and they put in, like, Asta and Zane instead, and it gets a lot darker, and you see, like, the contrast between everyone getting all upset and angry at being there. So, like, I think they could change to do something like that later on as well.
Yeah, I would like that a lot, and that's actually a really good point. First of all, that song is magnificent, Teardrop. It's an extremely emotional song. So the song was sad to begin with, but when you watch, like, the version 1 and version 2 side by side, it's actually chilling how, like, in version 1, you know, the song's always sad, but everyone's, like, smiling, you know, and no one, you don't really have this feeling of, like, grief, and then you watch the second version, and everyone's, like, angry and sad, and no one has a smile on their face anymore, and everyone who was smiling just has a frown. That was magnificently done, so yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So it's definitely possible for them to do something like that. Do you have anything else you want to add, Midnight, or?
Another point I wanted to put was, like, when we see Zark and Ray at the end, like, the way they're arranged, most of them are side by side with the counterparts from their dimension, except there's Yuto and Serena across each other, and then Yuri and Ruri opposite each other, which confused me a bit, but then I think it was Rarity that said that they might be ranged by their order of appearance.
That's what it is.
Or maybe the order of, I don't want to say importance, but the order of relevance to the entire show as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, because Ruri would be above Rin.
Yeah.
If that was the case.
Right,
yeah,
Rin is above Ruri, right.
Yeah, me and Midnight could go rant about how Rin's been treated. That's not for this video, but she has just been not treated as well as she should be, because she doesn't have connections to any character but Yugioh. So that's kind of why the writers haven't done much with her. I thought it was funny in 124, they're like, Yuto and Yugioh were like, Serena, Yuzu, and, Ruri, we're gonna save you! And I'm like, what about Rin? Granted, you don't know she's brainwashed, but if the other 3 are, you gotta assume. I know you haven't met this girl yet, but you just met Ruri, so...
Yeah, and Rin could have easily taken Serena's place in that duel, I think. I think no one would have minded that, yeah.
Yeah, and also just Rin, just the way she's drawn is different. But, like, if you look at the Bracelet Girl shot, like, her cheeks are a lot bigger, like, her eyes are a lot bigger, too. Like, it just... They have the same face, but at the same time they don't.
But,
like, there's subtle differences.
Also in, like, the ending, when they're doing, like, the flashing cards, they've all got, like, a really spectacular pose. Like, you got Yuzu jumping over the fire hydrant, you got Serena jumping in the air, you've got Ruri doing her hair, and then you've just got Rin who's, like, slightly lifting her leg with a clipboard, which I thought was... It was slightly unfair to have everyone else doing something awesome and then just her doing nothing.
I mean, she was doing it for Yugioh, though. She was timing him. She's the tech person. I know how we feel, but I know.
They could have done, like, a cheering thing.
And I think what Midnight's trying to say is all the girls are kind of doing an independent thing, and then she's doing something that's relying on Yugioh, and she's had to pretty much rely on Yugioh the entire show in terms of even getting airtime. And so I think that kind of just adds to the point where she, as you girls feel, she has been mistreated.
Exactly. We love, well, of course we do.
You love Rin-Rin.
Yes, we love Rin-Rin and Yugioh. We love them. We roleplay them on Tumblr, of course we do. But anyway, we're not gonna get into that, but I think that is agreed that Rin hasn't been treated. I feel like, yeah, she's been mistreated out of all four of them, I think, because Ruby's had 2 duels so far, and she's had more flashbacks and more development as a character. Like, Rin hasn't got it much, but this is not going to turn into, oh, let's rant about how bad Rin's been treated, because we don't need to talk about that throughout this video, but that's just something we observed in the ending as well. Hopefully she'll be able to do something really cool by the end. We just want her and Yugioh to be happy. We want all the counterpart pairs to be happy. I don't know about Yuri and Serena. They can do whatever they want.
My other thought is, like, I don't think we ever saw a fountain in Standard that looks like that, so it may be that they're looking over Standard, but it could also be like the Utopia that they're hinting at in the opening as well.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. Why didn't I talk about that?
I thought we did. Oh.
I didn't talk about that. Can I go back and talk about it? Because I thought that was
Yeah,
a pretty
yeah.
big thing.
I will let you.
Yeah, you're good. You're
Pass
good.
the mic.
The part... I've received the mic, thank you very much. Anyway, we see the part where Yuya is, like, rollerblading through the city, right? And I was thinking, oh, this is a new dimension, right? Because the lyrics even say travel to a new world. But we learned from, like, the 126 preview that it looks like that is the original dimension. So I feel like that is going to be visited at some point, but I do feel at the end, I don't even know if they're gonna, because Yukio's never really killed off their main character. You know, like, because, like, if they stay fused
the GX
end,
dub did. The GX dub.
Oh yeah, that was
but
horrible.
we're not talking. I know that was just cruel. I know about that, but
Don't
you
get
know,
me started.
They
on
made
that.
me cry
You know
for
what
2 weeks when I was like 8. That was unfair.
I mean, what a joke. What a joke.
I know that was just ridiculous. You can blame the legal people for that, but anyway, what I was saying is that I do think the ending of the show, I think, especially because of Dashing Pendulum, I think they're gonna be separated because I don't think they would kill off the main character by staying confused the whole time. Maybe they will all live in one world, but the counterparts were allowed to be separate. Maybe, like, Zark and Ray will sacrifice their physical form so these guys can be happy or something. I could see them doing something like that. And then they're like, no, like, we have to stay. And he's like, no, you guys don't have to. Because this is your life now. We didn't mean to make you something. I don't know. I could see them doing something, some magical friendship thing. But yeah, that new place in the opening, I think we're going to see it at some point. I'm going to guess at the end. It looks really cool. So maybe this does confirm Arc-V is on the same timeline as everything else? Because the city in the sky is a little more advanced than Heartland is. Like, Zexal Heartland, even. So maybe this is on the original timeline, but when the dimensions split, it threw everything off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning still to do that really in-depth timeline video when Arc-V ends, but I mean, it just gets more confusing by the day. So, I mean, hopefully we find more information about it, and maybe that will come true. It'll definitely be really interesting to see, you know, because I personally am believing that it is, I've seen people say it's a dimension of Egao, but no, I don't think that's what it is. I think it is the original dimension. I do agree with that for the most part.
We're gonna have to wait
So anyway, do you girls have anything else that you want to add in terms of theories before we get on to ranking our favorite openings and endings?
But you need to say your part.
I haven't said my part, but I feel like, well, I guess I'll go pretty briefly because I gave a decent amount of thought in the in when I did my in-depth analysis, so that's why I wanted to just kind of let you two speak about it. But now, to be fair, I will give my part. I just agreed with the fact that I think that Yugioh rollerblading is the original dimension. Actually, another thing that I did not mention in my in-depth analysis that goes back to what Rarity was saying about how Yuri is going to get redeemed, something that was really, really interesting to me, and I feel like this is something no one has mentioned in any comment, because again, I do go through a lot of I don't go through all of them, but I go through 95% of my comments, and no one has mentioned at all, is the fact that when you see the 4 girls, you know, after the Let's Joy part in ending 6, you see them, they all have their arms twisted over their head for whatever reason, and they're all...
I think I mentioned Yuri being a different angle. I mentioned that.
Did you mention it this video?
Yes!
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna be like, wow, okay, so then I'm an idiot. I've literally spent the last 60 seconds, Rarity, building up this discovery, and you just shot it down in one go, so thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. No.
it's a different end. Yeah, it's a different angle. You can only see one of his eyes and still his eyebrows.
Yeah, I must have been zoned out for like a minute. I'm so sorry, but no, that is a very. I feel like an idiot, but no, that is a very interesting point because Yuri, and that's something that I missed when I did my in-depth analysis of the opening and ending. Probably something I shouldn't have missed, but you look at Yuri and he is facing another way. So what does that mean? I don't know. Maybe that the redemption is going to be a little longer. And I think that also goes to the opening where you see the darkness come up from Yuri. And, it's just the fact that Yuri right now is not part of this, happy, go-friendly 8-person counterpart. And you imagine that he will be at some point, but it might be a while before he is. So I thought that was really interesting. Sorry, Rarity, I completely disrespected you there, but
no problem, it's fine.
I'm sorry, but anyway, I gave a lot of my thoughts. If you haven't watched it in the in-depth analysis when I went in-depth 17-18 minutes for the 6th and opening and ending, but so that's pretty much it. Everything I think that we could have talked about has been mentioned by you two girls. So are you girls ready to move on, or do you have anything else you want to add?
I am good.
Okay, well, let's move on. Midnight, I'm going to start with you, and this is something that I am most excited about in terms of the comment section and reading people's lists, because I love to read lists. I love to watch videos on, obviously, I started by making top 5 lists, so I love to do lists, and we are going to rank every opening and ending separately, not a 12 list. We're going to do 6 and 6. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. I think every list is going to be different for the most part. Now that I say that, it'd be funny if all 3 of us have the same exact list with the opening and ending.
Midnight told me hers. That's not. We have different opinions.
Okay, good. And I think I know your favorite, Rarity, so ours isn't going to be the same. So, so Midnight, I'm going to start with you if you want to read off your top 6 from bottom to top openings, and then if you want to do your endings, that would be awesome.
Okay, it took me a long time to do this because you can ask Rarity. I was rearranging it a lot because it's really hard to put one at the bottom because I love them all so much.
Same.
So, sadly, number 6. Oh, you're saying?
That doesn't mean that the bottom doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
That's very true. And that's a misconception that a lot of people have, where if it's ranked at the bottom, it's bad. And I've gotten a lot of heat from that when I do top 5 lists and I put a character at 5 and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe you put him at 5. And I'm like, I said it in the video, I don't think they're a bad character. They're just not top 4 material. But anyway, you girls are right about that. So go on, Midnight.
Okay, so number 6 is Light of Hope. And then just after that, it's the first opening, Believe, Believe. Mainly just purely... I'm going to say it's just purely for the reason, because there's one part in the opening where it says, it's a serious revolution, but then you've just got the whip snake pop up with the most goofiest face.
Oh, boy.
So I used to always watch the opening just for that, because it always made me laugh. Number 4 is Pendulum Beat. After that, it's Kirifuda, which is Trump Card, which I did love that one a lot. Then there's Burn, which is second, and number 1 is Unleash. Because technically that was the first ever opening I actually saw of Arc-V.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, they're all very good openings.
Yeah.
So that's definitely fair. So yeah, and then I'll give my openings. Midnight will give hers. Then we'll do the endings. And I have to say, Arc-V, there hasn't been a Yu-Gi-Oh show since GX where I loved every single opening. In 5Ds, Zexal, and Duel Monsters, there was 1 or 2 openings that I was like, I could never really get into, but this is a show that every opening I really, really enjoyed, so this was very difficult for me to make as well. But here is my list. At number 6, Believe, Believe, the first opening. At number 5, I have put Pendulum Beat at number 5, I know, to the dismay of probably both of you, but, well, I guess Midnight you put it 4th, but I know Rarity, you love it, so I do apologize for that. But number 4, and these top 4, man, oh my god, to me, these are just very brutal to sort. And I was switching up to an hour before. I don't know how I'm gonna do all 40 anime openings and endings. It's gonna be impossible, honestly. But number 4 is Kirifuda, Trump Card. Number 3 is Light of Hope. Number 2 is Unleash, and number 1 is Burn. Burn is just, to me, magnificent. They're all very good songs, but Burn just is, to me, is magnificent. And so those are my top 6 openings.
You guys are gonna hate me then.
No, I already know yours.
we appreciate we enjoy what's it called?
Individuality. We enjoy it.
Individuality, exactly.
Alright, is it my turn?
It is your turn, yes.
My list is kind of a little bit backwards, but okay, I'm gonna go. Number 6 is Trump Card. I'm sorry. I like the visuals a lot, but the song, it's just not that catchy to me. Not to say it's not a good song, doesn't have a good message. I think all the songs have that. It's just not as, like, fun to listen to again. I like ballad kind of music, but just not, I don't know, Trump Card just didn't really work for me. Number 5 is Believe X Believe by Bullet Train. I like the visuals. It's pretty catchy. I like the beady part. That's like my favorite part of the whole song, which is the chorus. I really like that, but it's not really just something I'll listen to a lot on occasion. Number 4 is Burn. I like Burn a lot, but it just, the other three I just like a lot more in terms of style of music, but I do like the visuals. I did like that it changed, you know, putting in Yuri, Serena, and Yugioh. I love that Yugioh's face was revealed before Yuri's, and then everyone was theorizing what Yuri was gonna look like.
Well,
and, like,
we feel that then.
Oh,
wow.
Wow, that was great.
Wow.
We're not gonna start the opening and ending
No,
part.
I want
Please
to.
don't. We can't stop this. No, we can't unleash it. We can't.
Stop.
But
Just stop.
Speaking
Just
of
go on.
unleash, that is number 3. That is number 3. That was a perfect segue. That is number 3. It is. Even though, like I said about the ballad style, I really like it. I like the visuals. I like the Lancers. You know, all coming together. I like that a lot. And then the Yugioh and Yuzu bit writing with Clearwing, that was really pretty. Plus Jack Atlas, how that, like, multiple versions, you know, when Jack Atlas came in, when Crow came in, it was, like, really, really cool. I really like that. Number 2 is Pendulum Beat. Like I said, I love that song. I like the punk rock kind of style. Like I said, like the 2 set. And of course, number 1 is Light of Hope. I'm sorry, I love that song. I love the visuals. I love the dark and light feel. I love the part that I just love it all. It's the whole characters. I like just the bracelet girls in the tube. I like Yugioh chasing for Rin. I like Shun racing to, like, there was Ruri in the tower. And I seriously thought the first time I watched it, I thought Sayaka was older. And I thought she was, like, Shun's mom at first. When I first saw it on the stream, I'm sorry, but I thought she was older. And everyone was like, she's a kid. I'm like, no. I think it's the hairpins and the glasses. That's what did her in for me. That's what did her in. But anyway, that's why I just love Light Hope. I can't get enough of it. I love the song. Actually, I'll admit this, me, Dylan, and Midnight watched the stream for 124, which was the last time we saw on Light of Hope, and I did actually sing it in Japanese for them, and they liked it, so that's how much I love that song.
You should sing it right now.
No, I don't have music, no. I'm not a singer. No! Hayaku, no! But that is my
Sing it
list.
for
Light
us.
of Hope is no! I will not sing it. No, I will not.
Please.
I'm British again. No, you're not making me do it. I'm not doing it. That's it. I'm done.
Do you just like...
Okay, well, Rarity, great list. And I'll tell you, sorry to interrupt you, Midnight. Light of Hope for me was number 2. I just pushed it back to number 3. I love the song as well. So, yeah, and I know, Midnight, you put it at the bottom of your list. So, but again, we love individuality, and I cannot wait to hear your favorite openings down in the comments below. So now we are going to move on to our top 6 endings, and Midnight, we are going to start with you.
The 6th one is One Step, purely because I never actually... I like the ending song, it's just, after the first few times, I didn't watch it. It was good, I liked the visuals, I liked the song, it's just, it wasn't exactly my favourite out of all of them. Then, number 5 is Vision. I did like the song, I did like the visuals as well. But, it's just the top 4 above I prefer a bit more, if you get what I mean. So number 4 is Arca Smile. Then there's Pendulum Dash. Number 2...
It's Dashing Pendulum.
Dashing Pendulum. Okay, the top 2 was switching for about 10 minutes. And that is... Number 2 is Future Fighter. So that leaves number 1 to be Speaking. Because I love the fact that you got to see everyone sort of in a mellowed out sort of environment. It was very nice, considering there was like the whole friendship cup going on. And it sort of was like, it was happy, but you knew something bad was going to happen eventually.
Mm-hmm.
You see Yuri Gal before 125, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, I'll say this, great job, Midnight. I'll give my endings now, and I'll just say our endings are actually similar to the point where we have our one spot switched, and that's it. endings are that similar. And I think the endings, there might be a lot more similarity than the openings, just from what I've seen people comment and what I know people enjoy. But I'm sure Rarity will throw that completely out of whack. But no, I hope she does, obviously, because again, I like originality, and not originality, but just people having different opinions and fighting for different beliefs. But anyway, I will say that I think, well, it's tough for me to argue Arc-V has had the best openings because GX, again, all 4 of them were amazing. Arc-V, I think, has had the best endings. I think that's pretty... The GX endings were alright, the Duel Monsters endings were okay, the Zexal endings were okay, the 5Ds endings were okay, but this is a show that, to me, has had 6 really good endings. So I just think Arc-V, personally, has had the best endings out of any Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, and you could probably argue best openings as well. So that's just my opinion, though. Starting at number 6, One Step, it was the first ending, and it wasn't a bad ending, but kind of like Midnight just said, it didn't really click for me. And this one killed me to put it number 5. It is Vision. And it kills me because it's probably it might be actually my favorite song on this list. There was a time where I literally drove from college back home, and I listened to this song on repeat the entire 50-minute drive, the full version of this. I mean, I love the song that much. To me, it's just a song I can listen to, and it's just such a peaceful song. The visuals were so disappointing that I couldn't put it higher on this list, which is really a shame. If I was just analyzing this from a musical perspective and not from a musical and visual perspective, Vision is right up there in the number 1 or 2 spot, but it is 5 for me because of the poor visuals. Dashing Pendulum, the new ending, is 4 for me. Arc of Smile is 3, and this one was tough, but it wasn't too tough. Future Fighters, number 2. Speaking, number 1, the same 1-2 combo that you had, Midnight. I just, I love both. I mean, I love all the songs, but Speaking is one of those songs, kind of just like Vision, that I can listen to for hours and not get bored of the full version of it. And the full version adds the bridge. The bridge of this song, which you don't hear any of the bridges of these songs in the opening, the bridge of this song and the bridge of Vision are 2 fantastically sung, fantastically written bridges. So from a musical perspective, those are probably my 2 favorite, but Speaking also has the visuals to back it up. Speaking is my favorite ending in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc-V. So those are my endings. Midnight, or not Midnight, excuse me. Rarity, do you want to give us your endings?
Yes, I'm really different from you guys.
Really? Good. No, good.
Okay, the bottom 2 are the same. Number 6 is One Step. Ironically, it's the only one done by a female band, which actually Ruri's voice actress is a part of. Thanks for telling me that, Midnight. That's really cool. So,
wow.
Yeah, kind of interesting they only used a girl band once, but I don't know, the visuals were cute, but like Midnight said, I didn't really watch it a lot afterwards. The opening I did, but not the ending. Number 5 is Vision. I'm not the biggest fan of... I like the song. Like, I'm not as big as fan of the song as everyone else, especially some friends of mine who loved... You see, my friend loved the ending, and I loved the opening. For Arc-V, we always switch, usually. He likes...
A match made in heaven.
Yes, we're just switching of opinions, so that's really cool. I like that. But Vision, good song. I like the lyrics, what they mean, how it relates to Yuya as a character. But the visuals were kind of disappointing. I really wish it was like I said, like the bracelet girls and like, you know, each of the U-boys thinking about their bracelet girl or something like more spectacular than what we got. Even though the animation in that is really pretty, like in terms of an animation standpoint, but doesn't mean I like it. Number 4 is Speaking. Yeah, I put Speaking pretty low because
Wow.
I like it. I like Speaking. It was really hard. These are really, really close. Just because they're labeled like a different or ranked a different way doesn't mean I don't like them. I do like Speaking. I do like the visuals. I do like the song, but I just don't think I listen to it as much on repeat. Kind of like the songs were a little bit, like, I ranked it a little bit more than the visuals, because I think all the visuals are, like, perfectly fine, except for number 1, but I'll talk about that when I get there. So I just like the visuals. I like that everyone was together. I was kind of mad that the council was in the ending. I'm sorry, I hate those guys. And Sergei wasn't there, and Roger wasn't in the ending, so I was happy about that. Yes, but Yuri's smile and Sarah not being punched by Sawatari was glorious.
Wrong way round.
Sarah to punch Sawatari, not the other.
My
I'm
God,
sorry.
what are you promoting?
What are you watching, Rarity?
I don't know! I'm sorry! Okay, I'm sorry. I like that. And I like the Yugioh and Rin shot with Yugioh, how like his drilling his mouth open, that was really cute. And of course the Xyz trio, even though Ruri's hair looked off in that shot, but I like Shun and Yuto looking so peaceful. But that's enough about speaking. Number 3 is Future Fighter. I love the fact this song is sung by Yugioh and Reiji's voice actors. That, like, makes this... That put it above speaking for me. For that fact alone, they're pretty tied. But that, like, puts over that just that cool element. Oh, and you can, like, tell it's them. And I just like the part, you know, when, like, where they're singing together. That part, you know, with the Shun and Reiji, then, like, the Yuzu, you know, like, singing with the crying. I just love the visuals. It doesn't really, like explore anything new, because all stuff has kind of, like, happened in the show, like the Shun versus Sora duel kind of thing. But I still really liked it. And I like that darker kind of edgy, you know, like I said with the open, I like that kind of style of Japanese music, so I think that really works well. Number 2 is Arc of Smile. I love that ending. I love the song. I love the visuals. I just love them doing all these random things. They are so adorable. And plus, it's the only ending that Dennis is in, which is really sad. But yeah, he was away, and then he got carded, so, But I like that. I think my favorite picture in that is the Indiana Jones one, of, like, the Shun with the fist, and, like, Dennis flying in the background, and Tsukikage with Reira.
That became a meme.
Yes, I wish Reiji was with the Lancers during those funny pictures. Also, the pool bit was funny, and the cards, I just like that whole, just the way that was designed visually. And then number 1 is Dashing Pendulum. I love the song, I love the I know this is kind of a bold statement. I did that with the ending, but I mean the opening too, but I love the visuals. Like I said, it was my perfect ending, exactly what I wanted in an Arc-V ending. So of course I had to put it number 1. It has my beautiful counterparts. It has a really cool art style. I love the song. I like what it means. I like one of the lyrics is like, oh, you like, I step in rain, and then it's like Yuya and like Futoshi like walking in puddles. There's also a part, I think there's also one of the lyrics something to do with Yuri's like, oh, being like just something mean isn't cool. Like, I don't remember what the lyrics were. There's also a line about, am I getting taller today? And that's the Shun bit, because Shun is so much taller than Yuto. I just thought that was funny. And the Shun stalking bit, that and the Yuri bit, and just like the art style, and just everything about that ending I just love. I love the song. I know it's a really bold statement. I can't wait to hear the full version of this song. Hopefully we'll get the instrumentals for this and the opening, because the only Arc-V openings and endings who have not gotten instrumentals that are official by the bands, we didn't get one for Believe X Believe, we didn't get one for the 4th ending and the 4th opening, and we didn't get one for Vision. So I'm hoping these two will follow suit. I mean, not follow suit with that, but I mean, like, we'll actually get the instrumentals, because I love both of them a lot. But I know I'm weird. I like the punk and I like the happy. That's just my music choice in Japanese music. But anyway, that is my list.
Great list, and no, we applaud weird at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything channel. We applaud it, and I do love hearing. I don't want to say unpopular opinions, but bold opinions like that, and I love hearing people defend them, because at the end of the day, I just love hearing what people have to say, especially those that, you know, I love hearing when people agree with me, obviously, but I love hearing when people respectively don't, and, you know, they back it up, and I think you backed it up really well, and at the end of the day, everyone is free to have their own opinions about everything, so I cannot wait to hear you guys watching comment your list down below, because I'm telling you, it is not as easy as it seems. It'll probably take you like 10-15 minutes to come up with your definitive list. I mean, it's not easy to do this, but it really has been fun. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's corny, and I know, you know, you guys who sit through this for 45-50 minutes every few weeks want to get like a really good ending spiel for me, and I always just say the same crap, so I apologize for that, but it really isn't crap. I mean, we're 3 people in the community. You guys are the reason, you guys at home are the reason that this has been just such a possibility, really, for us to take time out of our day, and to want to take time out of our day to discuss the anime, and, you know, whether it's the anime or the manga, in this case, obviously the anime, and just to interact with all of you guys in the community. The community has really been amazing, and I know I say it at the end of every video, but I probably will always say it at the end of all these podcasts, because if it wasn't for the support of you guys, these podcasts wouldn't be happening. So, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to let Rarity and Midnight give their plugs about their channel. You definitely should check them out. All their info, their channels, Tumblrs will be in the description below. So, Rarity, do you want to give your typical send off?
I'll try to be quick. Yeah, I'm the person who dubs the Arc-V manga. Hey, what's up? I do that. I do voice acting, a bunch of different stuff. On Tumblr, I roleplay at Arkham Roleplay and Amazon Assassins for $4 for the fun people. In terms of progress, this is something new about progress of Scale 9 of my manga drama. The lines are due next week. Hopefully I'll get all of them in so I can start working on that for you guys. It's going to be amazing. You get to see Yuri and Sora clash. I get to be crazy. That's going to be tons of fun. And just to edit that plus the Yuri hitting on Yuzu bit, that's going to be the best thing ever. But yeah, you know me, you know what I do, and I will be back also. You will hear me pretty soon, in a few weeks, for Scale 15's review, hopefully. Yeah, 15, we're on 15. Wow, we're 15 chapters, oh gosh. Good to see that, so I'll be back for that, because I will be on the manga reviews if I'm available, which I should be for most of them during that time of the month, so that'll be awesome. But yeah, you know me. Yeah, woo!
Midnight, do you want to give your plug-in?
At Midnight, I do YouTube edits for Arc-V, sometimes with Zexel. I do art on my Tumblr, which is synchronized. That's about it.
Yeah, well, you know what? Any way people contribute to the community, it's just
and you have like a
thing.
million roleplay blogs.
I don't want to talk about the roleplay blogs. I hate them.
You have so many. No.
Even if you don't make videos and you just comment on these videos, even if you don't even have a YouTube account and you just watch these videos, we really appreciate it, because at the end of the day, that's just what it's all about. The community really is amazing. But I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. Thank you guys so much for watching. From me, from Rarity, from Midnight, we all really appreciate it, and we cannot wait to hear your thoughts on Opening 6 and Ending 6, and maybe even ranking all the openings and endings down below. That sums it up. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for watching.